Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. We are doing Bhagavad Gita as it is, chapter number 17, text number 1. Arjuna Vacha Ye Shastra Vidhim Utsricya Yajante Shraddhayanvitaha Tesham Nishtha Tuka Krishna Sattvam Aho Rajastamaha. Translation by Srila Prabhupada. Arjuna inquired, O Krishna, what is the situation of those who do not follow the principles of Scripture but worship according to their own imagination? Are they in goodness, in passion, or in ignorance? Om Ajnanatimmirandasya Jnananjana Shalakaya Chakshurunmilitam Yena Tasmai Shri Gurave Namaha. So we're starting a new chapter. And from Arjuna's question, we can see he is going to ask more questions, and he wants to know, the talking about the modes of material nature, goodness, passion, and ignorance. So he wants to know what is the situation of those who, go on the spiritual path, follow a spiritual path according to their own imagination, which means they are not following the scriptures, they are not following the instructions of the Supreme Lord, but just doing what they have heard or what they feel or what they imagine. Based on that, they perform bhakti yoga. Now, this whole chapter, we will learn how we can attain perfection, come to that perfect stage of self-realization. And that is going to lead to happiness, which will be permanent. In the previous chapter 16, Krishna had told Arjuna the 26 divine qualities, and one of them was that following the scriptures. So those who follow scriptures, Krishna says, they are considered to be divine. And the whole Bhagavad Gita is full of instructions, and it's a scripture. But he also mentioned that those who discard the scriptures and they act whimsically, they attain neither perfection, nor happiness, nor supreme destination. Very, very clear instruction. So, if one does not follow the scriptures like the Bhagavad Gita and they act according to their own imagination, then there's no possibility of attaining permanent happiness. So, here, Krishna in this chapter is going to answer Arjuna's question, and he says it depends on the particular faith according to the modes someone has acquired. Now, we learned in chapter 14 that we act according to the modes we have acquired. If we are in the mode of goodness, our actions also will be, in the mode of goodness. If we eat food in the mode of goodness, our consciousness is going to change if it isn't in the mode of goodness. So Krishna is saying it depends on the particular faith. And that faith again depends on which mode we are operating. In the 4th chapter of Bhagavad Gita, Krishna told Arjuna that those who are faithful, which means who believe in God, who believe in the Bhagavad Gita, they follow the Bhagavad Gita, gradually they get elevated to knowledge. And then that leads them to highest perfection. And once one attains perfection, then there is peace of mind, right? So the position of faithful is dependent on how many rules and regulations one follows. In chapter 14, we went in detail about the different modes of material nature. And towards the end, Krishna even gave us the formula to transcend these modes. Say we are in the mode of ignorance or passion or goodness. But to go to pure goodness, to transcend these three modes, he gave a very nice formula. Mam cha yo vyabhicharena bhakti yogena sevate sagunan samityaitan brahma bhuyaya kalpate. He said that those who perform full devotional service unfailing in all circumstances, which means there has to be no excuse that we use to not perform bhakti yoga. So, unfailing in all circumstances, such a person easily transcends the three modes of material nature. Now, for us to transcend these three modes, it's important to have the right association and to eat the right food. Very, very important. Isn't there a saying? Two sayings. We are known by the company we keep, and we are what we eat. So, whatever food goes into our body, based on that, our consciousness also changes. So, again, comes back to faith. So Krishna says that the faith also of people is according to the modes they have acquired. So, for instance, those who are in the mode of goodness, they worship the demigods. Those who are in the mode of passion, they worship the demons. And those who are in the mode of ignorance, they worship ghosts. But those who are in the mode of pure goodness, they worship Krishna, the Supreme Personality of Godhead. But then again, it depends on the faith. So if there is faith in the Supreme Lord Krishna, then one will take on the instructions from the Bhagavad Gita and follow them. So faith is very important. For instance, if I want to, say, go from my home to the airport using public transportation, the bus or the train or whatever, so I need to have faith in the transport company. For instance, in Atlanta, it's MARTA. It's called MARTA. MARTA is a certified, recognized transportation company. So I need to have faith that because it is bona fide and recognized, it is going to take me from point A to point B. That faith I need to have because I have the knowledge that it is a recognized bona fide company. But if I stand there outside the bus stop and say, I'm not sure, is this going to take me? Is the driver, like, does the driver have a license? Does the driver know the route, to go from my house to the airport? All these questions are unnecessary because I need to have faith that it is recognized, it's bona fide, so it's going to take me to my destination. The same applies in Bhakti Yoga too, in spiritual life. If we are following a bona fide process, if we are, for instance, the Bhagavad Gita that we read every Sunday is Bhagavad Gita as it is bona fide scripture with no interpretation. So when we have that faith and if we follow that process, then we will reach our destination. So faith is very, very important. There's a very nice story in the scriptures that there was a cobbler, the one who mends the shoes. The cobbler was very poor, didn't have much knowledge about the scriptures, but he had firm faith in the Supreme Lord. But there was a learned Brahmana who had read the scriptures, who had read Bhagavad Gita and was worshipping and everything. So one day, Narad Muni, who was a great sage, he came and he met the Brahmana, and the Brahmana wanted to know, hey, you've come from the spiritual world. What is the Supreme Lord doing? And he said, well, the Supreme Lord is passing an elephant from the eye of the needle. You know, the needle that we use to sew the clothes, that has a very tiny hole, to put the thread around across it. So he said the Supreme Lord is passing an elephant through that eye of the needle. The Brahmana laughed and said, That is so ridiculous. How is that possible? But the same great sage, when he went to the cobbler who was busy mending shoes, and he said, Do you know what your Supreme Lord is doing? He is passing an elephant from the eye of a needle. And the cobbler was so happy, he was jumping up and down. And the great sage said, why so much excitement? How can an elephant go through an eye of a needle? He said, My Lord can do anything. That was the firm faith he had in the Lord. You see the difference? Faith is very, very important, and faith comes from the mode of goodness. But if the faith is not in the mode of pure goodness, then it is subject to contamination. Then there is a possibility that the faith will, waver. Sometimes it's there, sometimes it's not there. So the faith needs to be established in the heart, and it all depends in which mode we operate. Generally, Prabhupada explains that we are influenced by a combination of modes. Sometimes we are together in the mode of goodness and passion, sometimes passion and ignorance. So there is a mixture going on. So it's very, very important that we are careful of the association we keep, also the food that we intake. Very, very important, because we do need nourishment, but we also want to make sure that our finer brain tissues also get purified. So Krishna gives us knowledge in this chapter 17 about the food in different modes. So, first of all, he says the food that is in the mode of goodness is juicy, it is sweet, it's healthy, it gives joy, and it purifies. It is fattening, it's palatable. And what is the result of food in the mode of goodness? It increases the life and it gives satisfaction. And this food is made with pure ingredients. It is cooked with purity, and it is served in a clean place by pure people. You see, this is food in the mode of goodness. And what is the purpose of food? To increase the duration of life, to get nourishment, to purify the mind and give strength to the body, right? So in the purport, Srila Prabhupada gives us knowledge about what kinds of food are in the mode of goodness, like milk products, sugar, rice, wheat, fruits, vegetables, lentils, all these. These are in the mode of goodness, basically pure vegetarian. But when Krishna is talking about fatty food, he's not talking about animal fat at all. He's talking about like butter or, that kind of a fatty food. It has no connection with animal fat. Now, what about food in the mode of passion? Krishna says it's bitter, it's sour, salty, hot, pungent, and dry. And what is the result of eating food in the mode of passion? It gives misery, pain, distress, disease. It's very spicy. Even onion and garlic falls in the food in the mode of passion. And misery that's referring here is to the depression that one feels after eating. And the disease that refers to is the results that are yet to be felt. People like to eat a lot of spicy food, yeah, with a lot of onion, garlic in it. That all is in the mode of passion, and it causes distress and disease. But though that food which is in the mode of ignorance is, Krishna says, it's tasteless, it's putrid, it's unclean, stale, old, like decomposed animal products. That is all in the mode of ignorance. So if we really want to transcend even food in the mode of goodness, then we need to convert it into pure goodness. So, first of all, we need to take the food which is in the mode of goodness and offer it to Krishna. Once we offer our food in the mode of goodness to the Supreme Lord, He converts it into pure goodness. Then that food becomes pure, which is the mercy of the Supreme Lord, which is also called blessed food. In the Bhagavad Gita earlier chapters, Krishna says, Patram Pushpam Phalam Toyam Yome Bhaktya Prayachati. He says, if one offers me with love and devotion of leaf, a flower, of fruit, or water, he's making it very clear. He's not saying you can offer me meat and onion and God. No, he's not talking about that. So there is a process to, first of all, cook the food which is in the mode of goodness with pure mind, which means pure consciousness. And there is a process. We offer mantras, we chant mantras to offer that food to the Lord. Then that food becomes prasadam, which is in the mode of pure goodness. You know, the fire on which we cook food, it carries the consciousness of the cook. Excuse me. So if the consciousness of the cook is in the mode of ignorance, that is going to affect the food that is being cooked. See? Of course, there is a lot we can talk about this, maybe one whole class on food, but I'm just giving you the summary from chapter 17. Then Krishna talks about sacrifice. That sacrifice in the mode of goodness is one that is offered with great respect and not expecting any reward in return. But sacrifice in the mode of passion is done, excuse me, it's done out of pride. And it's done on a grand scale, like, in a glorious way to attain material, gain, something, you know, like there is greed. I want this, I want that. So let me perform a sacrifice, like a fire sacrifice. You see? So that is in the mode of passion. In the Nectar of Instruction, which was written by Rupa Goswami, it says that if one really wants to attain perfection and permanent happiness, then one has to be very careful not to overeat, not to over endeavor, not talk unnecessarily, and not be greedy to get more and more, whether it is money or whatever else it may be. One should not collect too much, right? And those who are in the mode of ignorance, for them, what is sacrifice? They perform sacrifice without chanting any mantras, not following any scriptures, without any faith also. You see, that is in the mode of ignorance. So from chapter 14, we learned a lot about how these modes of material nature operate and how to transcend them. But for that, Krishna tells Arjuna in this chapter that we need to perform austerities. There is austerity of the body, which means worshiping the Supreme Lord, worshiping the superiors, keeping the body and mind clean, maintaining celibacy, leading a simple life. Why keep running in different directions? Right? Here we see mostly people, they are just running out of greed. I want this, I want that. So let me do 2 jobs, 3 jobs, or whatever it is. Not a simple life at all. Very complicated, just running, running, running. So Krishna is asking us to perform austerity of the body. Then comes speech, austerity of the speech, which means we got to be truthful, be honest, and speak the truth in such a way that it's beneficial, it's not offensive, it's very respectful. Austerity of speech is also to chant, do mantra meditation, chanting Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. Very, very important. To recite the scriptures, chant the mantras. But the main thing, austerity of speech, is to be honest, not agitate. Our speech should not agitate the mind of others. Sometimes the words that we use, our language and all, it can pierce the heart of others. So we got to be very careful and perform that austerity of speech. Then Krishna tells Arjuna austerity of the mind, which is simplicity, serenity, self control, gravity, pure thoughts, right? And this is what is the austerity of the mind. And how do we attain that? That is why mantra meditation helps us. When we chant on a daily basis, it helps us to control our mind. It helps us to understand the Bhagavad Gita. It helps us to understand the purpose of human form of life, to lead a simple life. Simple living, high thinking. High thinking means learning the Bhagavad Gita, understanding, taking on knowledge, you see. And those who are in the mode of goodness, they perform austerities for the pleasure of the Lord. They don't have any they don't have any desire for material gain. But those who are in the mode of passion, they perform austerities to gain respect and honor, and they perform it temporarily. But those who are in the mode of ignorance, Prabhupada says, they perform austerity to torture themselves. In India, also, you may have heard about or noticed that people do different kinds of austerities of the body just to gain popularity. Like we'll find someone, you know, in cold water, not wearing any clothes, and is just standing in cold water to perform some austerity to show, hey, look, I can do that. Or some dig a hole in the ground and in the mud, and they, stand in there and cover themselves with mud till their head, performing austerity. This is not what is recommended in the Bhagavad Gita. That is in the mode of ignorance, where we are torturing our own selves. Now, Krishna comes to charity. Most people like to perform charity, but unfortunately, most do not know how to perform charity. So, Krishna is giving us knowledge here in this chapter where he says, that those who are in the mode of goodness, they give charity as if it's their duty, with no expectation in return, and it is given to a devotee of the Lord. Those who are in the mode of passion, they give charity with great expectation, that if I give this, this is what I'm going to get in return. And they do it in a grudging mood, Krishna says. They have no time, no mood, no patience, no intelligence, nothing. It's just doing it to get some popularity, to get some recognition. And those who are in the mode of ignorance, they give charity at an improper place to an unworthy person at an improper time. This is in the mode of ignorance. But if we really want to give charity in the mode of pure goodness, then we need to find out that what is that place, whether it's a temple or a church, or who are those devotees of the Lord who are going to use our hard-earned money for serving the Supreme Lord. I'll give you an example. I'm driving, say from temple, I'm coming back home, I'm driving, and I'm at the traffic signal, it's red, and I'm waiting, and here comes a beggar and begs me for money, If I give money to that beggar, and that beggar goes and uses that charity that I have done to maybe smoke or drink alcohol or eat meat or whatever, I also get the karma because I facilitated his sinful activity. So we got to be very careful, who are we giving charity to? What I generally do is carry some prasad, which is food offered to the Lord, which is in the mode of pure goodness, carry with me, whether it's fruits or vegetables or food or whatever it may be, and give that instead. So at least that person, that beggar, will get benefit of eating sanctified food, and that will change his consciousness. So now Krishna is telling Arjuna that sacrifice, charity, and austerities, if they are performed without faith in him, it is useless. Very simple. It's useless. So we got to understand what kind of austerities we need to perform and what is the purpose behind it. But not just randomly do based on our imagination. No. So if one is chanting regularly, performing this mantra meditation, then Prabhupada says all the activities that devotee performs, it purifies him or her, and it elevates the consciousness. This is what chanting does. And chanting also leads to spiritual elevation if that is our goal. But the bottom line is Krishna is telling Arjuna that you perform the austerities for my pleasure. Follow the scriptures faithfully. Try to act in the mode of goodness and then elevate yourself to the mode of pure goodness. Then later on in this chapter, Krishna says that the Brahmanas, they chant Om Tat Sat. You all must have heard this, Om Tat Sat. For what? To satisfy him. Om is chanted to attain the supreme. Tat is chanted to free oneself from all material entanglement. And because Krishna is the objective of Bhakti Yoga, of devotional service, it is indicated by the word Sat. So that is Om Tat Sat. Y'all must have heard probably that even when fire sacrifice is performed, the Brahmanas chant Om Tat Sat. This is the meaning. But in this age that we are in, Kali Yuga, Krishna says chanting the Hare Krishna Maha Mantra includes Om Tat Sat. So we don't have to chant that separately. In fact, all the mantras of the Vedas, you see, Vedas are very vast. They're divided into four, but there are thousands and thousands of mantras in the Vedas. But the potency of all those mantras is in chanting the Hare Krishna Maha Mantra. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. So that is why I keep insisting every class that we must do mantra meditation on a daily basis. See? So if sacrifice, charity, or austerity is performed without faith, Krishna says it is useless and it is impermanent. So, because without faith, without any guidance, without following the scriptures, how can one attain any benefit, right? Most of people, they don't know what is the goal of human form of life. They're just randomly living. Like they say, we'll take one day at a time. This human form is very rare. So we need to have an ultimate goal. The ultimate goal should be to understand the Supreme Lord Krishna. become conscious of Krishna. How? By guidance, getting guidance from a spiritual teacher, getting trained. Then there will be success. Just like I want to learn something new, dancing, music, software, karate, whatever it may be, cooking, I need a guru, someone who can teach me. And with faith, if I start learning, then gradually that faith will become very firm. And then, if it is on the spiritual path, then that faith will lead us to love for Krishna. So, this whole chapter 17 is Krishna is guiding us on the food that we should eat, on the association, on charity that we perform, on the sacrifices, on the austerities, so that we can benefit from these instructions and attain perfection and permanent happiness. Everybody wants to be happy, and everybody wants that happiness to last forever. No one is really happy when, happiness has a beginning and an end. I'm happy today, but I'm not happy tomorrow. Nobody likes that. We all want to be happy always, all the time. That's our nature, right? We are, like Krishna says, Mama Vamsha Jiva Loke, Jiva Bhuta Sanatana. We are eternal spirit souls and we are part of the Supreme Lord. And because we are his Amsha, we are his part, he is always happy. And so we also want to be happy all the time. So here, this chapter gives us knowledge on how to attain permanent happiness. So it's just a matter of having faith in Krishna, have faith in the instructions of the Bhagavad Gita, and we can definitely change our state of consciousness and attain permanent happiness. So, this is what this chapter 17 is talking about, and I'm going to end now. So, if anyone has, any questions or comments, you're welcome.